Welcome to the Couch to Internview, a professionally casual conversation between Taylor interns and leaders. I'm Jared Williamson, and I'm currently a graphic design intern here at the Innovation Center.
And I'm Katrina Kroc. I'm currently a copywriting and research intern here at the Taylor Innovation Center, and today we're here with me and Jared's manager of the Innovation Center, Megan Shillman. Would you care to introduce yourself, Megan?
Sure, yeah. I'm the manager of the Innovation Center, as you said. I've been working with Taylor for about 4.5 years now. Primarily, I work with interns within the Innovation Center doing marketing, design, creative services for the entire corporation, as well as we help do marketing and creative services as well for an up-and-coming company within Taylor. So doing a lot of messaging in that way. I work specifically with those teams and help interns like yourselves grow and network within the corporation, as well as work with HR as well to kind of better help the intern experience for the entire corporation.
Awesome. Could you tell us a little more about your background leading up to your time at Taylor?
Yeah. So I grew up in LaSource, Minnesota, which is about a half an hour down the road here in Minnesota, Mankato, Minnesota. And I went to school in Eau Claire, Wisconsin at UW Eau Claire. Went for public relations major and kind of a custom minor. I did forensics there. I did a lot of different unpaid internships to kind of gain some experience, a lot of odd jobs to earn some extra income. And then once I graduated college, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do. Still kind of was a little bit new to figuring out what was the world of PR, if that was actually what I wanted to go into. I kind of knew a little bit about marketing and communications, and I had some experience with design, but nothing enough that I felt was good enough to go out to an advertising agency. So I was kind of in this fun and strange experience where I was applying to everywhere and anywhere and had a lot of interviews and will occasionally get blips, but nothing that was really, really what I wanted to go into. And then after a couple months after I graduated college, still was looking for stuff to do, doing kind of freelance work on the side to help keep me going. And then I was doing some volunteer work with an individual named Paula Heyer, who works within Taylor, and she said that she heard of a new internship program that was getting started. So I went online, applied for that internship within Taylor, interviewed for it, ended up not being my first role, but for a completely different role within the organization. They passed my information on, and then I became the very first intern that was part of the Innovation Center. Since then, or after that point, a couple other interns joined me at the Innovation Center. They were still kind of building the space too. And then about 2 months into my internship, after working hard, kind of learning about the organization, figuring out what exactly the plan for us interns was supposed to be, they decided to hire me on as a full-time manager of the Innovation Center, and I've been here ever since. I've had about 34, 35 interns come in through the Innovation Center. Some of them have gone on to full and part-time positions within the corporation, and others have gone and seen a lot of success elsewhere. So it's been really gratifying, and I've got to work on a lot of really cool initiatives as part of my time here.
It's cool how much it's grown since you started.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you were the very first, and then now you've had 35 come through, and especially in kind of the short time period that you were an intern and then on to an intern manager. So with being a manager, I want to ask, what is your favorite part?
It's definitely challenging, and the reward for me is with working with interns specifically, seeing you guys grow. obviously coming into an internship program, everybody's a little bit different. Everybody's starting off in different points in their career. And a lot of times the people that I'm most excited to have come into the Innovation Center is they come in willing and wanting to just grow or learn anything that they can and start figuring out what they want to do, what they are strong at, what they need improvement, and working through whatever length of time that they're in the Innovation Center. I have seen people just grow exponentially with being able to get those opportunities to apply themselves and kind of see where they can take it. There have been projects that have definitely been really challenging, and sometimes those are the ones that really spark kind of that new idea of, oh, I never knew I could do that.
Like the growing period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. Like, you've done a really good job thus far. I know we've only been a part of the Innovation Center for a month or two, but up until now it's been a great experience, and we've gotten a lot of real world experience. And like, I think I speak for everyone when I say, like, we really appreciate you and everything you have to give and your patience, even when we have
Yes.
those growing pains.
Definitely.
They're definitely present.
Yes.
Where's the printer?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's stuff that hopefully if I can help answer during your time here, those are things that you're in that next role that you go into, you're going to feel 10 times ahead.
Yeah.
Which that's the goal. That's what I hope to do.
Yeah. Definitely getting more comfortable is like moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like, on our side, it's also that like challenge of like seeing not necessarily like a roadblock, but just like a place where it's like, oh, I've never seen this before, and like this is definitely a challenge for my skills, and like not knowing that you have certain skills, and then overcoming that. It's really rewarding. Not like just making copies and stuff. Even though sometimes you kind of wish you were, because it was like not as hard, but yeah.
Just need to turn your brain off on a Friday.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, kind of turning that on you guys as interns, like, what has been kind of your aha moment so far?
For me, with working with Photoshop, it's something that I had never learned. I kind of thought, oh, that's going to be the graphic design intern's job, and I won't have to use that. But I was very open to using it, and that's been one of my favorite things so far, is learning Photoshop and just figuring out all the amazing things that I can do and the work that I can create. And just seeing the final product is super awesome.
And it pairs really well with your natural given skills of copywriting. Like, you can kind of take a concept, and rather than submit what you're working on, you can take it from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, no, it's very awesome to see like the whole product, like the writing and the graphics of it, definitely.
Yeah, and for me coming in, I've used multiple programs and taken a course in it, but I'd never gotten the opportunity to actually like really apply those skills to a actual purpose, or in a business setting rather. And I think the biggest thing that I'm learning is learning how to format and get all the little tweaks and making it as close to perfect as possible, just on alignment and color-wise, and being under brand guidelines is kind of like a new experience. I did experience that in using our college colors, but definitely not to this certain extent. And I think I've grown a lot in those aspects for sure. Mm-hmm. Also learning how to, that's another thing I'd say that I've grown in, is like internal troubleshooting and like problem solving, just learning how to do that and being like, all right, I don't want to ask Megan because I know she's got like uber amounts of stuff going on. So it's just like, how can I try to fix this? And like last resort, talk to her. Or actually, once we all started learning more, it was more of, all right, who else can I talk to that's gone through this before?
Using your resources and the other interns. Okay, Jared knows more about Photoshop than I do. Like, I can go ask him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been super useful, just using it as a team and like bouncing ideas off of other people. It's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give people that are interested in getting an internship here or trying to pursue something after college?
So first thing is do your research, making sure that not only with Taylor Corporation, which is a huge organization, and every single subsidiary company is a little different and has their own products that they produce and industries that they work with and their company culture. It's figuring out who that key point of contact is when you're applying for a position. Kind of making sure that what your resume is saying and kind of what you're preparing to say in those phone interviews or in face-to-face interviews line up with kind of how you want to present yourself and make yourself feel like you're the right candidate for that particular position within that company.
Yeah.
So yeah, knowing a little bit of background information goes a long way and helps the hiring manager feel like you're interested, you're invested in that organization is really key, as well as for your own satisfaction, like making sure that if you're applying to multiple different places that you can keep them straight.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In college, there's a lot of students who might not know what classes or groups to be a part of that would benefit them or look good on a resume. What would you have to say in that aspect?
One, using your resources to help guide you in that situation. So as students, you usually have advisors or other classmates that you could kind of ask them too, like bounce ideas, say, hey, I'm interested in these types of things, or going into this type of career path. What are you doing? Or what have other students before me done that's been successful? Your advisor can kind of talk through other activities within your school, other community things that you can do. I think a lot of students forget that beyond the sphere of their college or university, that there are other things that they can go into as well. But beyond clubs, organizations, classes, like take what you're passionate about and apply it wherever you can. There are, like for me, again, I was a public relations major. I don't think I had a single public relations job, internship, anything, but I had stuff that complemented that very well. Mm-hmm. Taking forensic, or going and being in competitive forensics allowed me to do more public speaking and get a little bit more comfortable with that. Knowing how to write better, how to write good. But it's again, yeah, just knowing that what you have is good enough. But there's always places that you can amplify it. So if you're applying to places and you're like, okay, there still seems to be a hole that I'm just don't even have enough experience or whatever, go out, actively ask, and apply yourself as much as you can.
And then probably advertise those experiences as the complementary things that they are. Like, I know, like I worked in a kitchen and I was a dishwasher and a bartender, and I worked at a golf course, but I've noticed that in this job, little things from different places have helped me in ways that I never thought they would. Mm-hmm. So valuing the experiences that you have with any job helps, I think.
Absolutely.
Yep. Any job, any class, any experience, I know with being a TA and being in Student Senate, that's definitely been something that's helped me with public speaking and kind of more being in a professional sense, comparing Student Senate to being in a corporate environment where I hadn't actually experienced that before this internship.
As we come to the end of this interview, if people want to reach out or connect with you, what would be the best way?
You can either connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can feel free to reach me at my email address, mshillman@taylordigital.io.
They're, I think, right somewhere over there. Yeah, yeah, it'll be there. All right, before we go, one last question. Who's your favorite intern?